Imagine being trapped in a body that only lives when the sun allows it. You wake up frozen, half-conscious, praying for warmth to seep into your skin. You crawl toward a light like an addict chasing their next fix. Too cold to move, too hot to think. Every heartbeat depends on the sky's mercy. This isn't worship, it's survival. This is the curse of the iguana, the creature chained to the sun. For an iguana, warmth is not a comfort, it's a command. Its body does not produce heat, only borrows it, like a beggar relying on the kindness of the sun. Inside, everything slows when the temperature drops. The heart beats sluggishly, the blood thickens, even thoughts dim into silence. It becomes a sculpture of a life, trapped in stillness until morning breaks. Unlike mammals who carry furnaces within, iguanas are at the mercy of their surroundings. Their muscles only obey when sunlight fills them with energy, each cell awakening like a thawing memory. In the chill of night, their world narrows to survival. They must find a crack in the rocks, a hidden corner still holding warmth from the day. Even then, death lurks inches away. To live this way is to be ruled by something you cannot touch. The sun becomes both god and executioner, the source of life and the edge of extinction. The iguana doesn't worship it by choice. It kneels to it by design. At dawn, the world of the iguana begins again. Slow, painful, necessary. From cracks in volcanic rock, grey bodies emerge like ghosts thawing from ice. Their limbs tremble as they crawl toward the first light. The ground is still cold, but hope burns on the horizon. They spread themselves flat to catch as much heat as possible. Every scale is a tiny solar panel, every second of sunlight a battle against death. Move too early, and the cold will paralyze them. Wait too long, and the best feeding hours are gone. It's a ritual of calculation. Heat, rest, move, repeat. The dark volcanic stones become their sanctuary, absorbing the sun's power and giving it back like slow fire. As warmth seeps through their bodies, colour returns to their skin and motion to their minds. Only then can they climb, feed, and fight. Each morning, they rise not by choice but by command of the light. To an iguana, dawn is not beautiful, it's deliverance. To survive on the Galapagos, the marine iguana learned to eat the sea itself. But every meal is a gamble. Beneath the waves lies its only food, algae, and its greatest poison, salt. The ocean's brine seeps into its body with every bite, flooding its blood with minerals it cannot digest. For a creature born of the land, the sea is both a table and a trap. Evolution gave it no choice but one strange solution. Near its nostrils, the iguana developed salt glands that act like living filters. After feeding, it crouches in the sun, face twitching, before sneezing. Not air, but salt. The crystals burst out in white sprays, coating its snout like frost. From a distance it looks ancient, powdered with snow under the equatorial sun. This grotesque ritual is its survival. Without it, salt would choke its organs, draining water from its blood until it dies of dehydration beside the sea that feeds it. Each grain expelled is proof of a battle fought quietly inside. The marine iguana eats what would kill most creatures, and then spends hours coughing the ocean out of its veins. The marine iguana looks like it belongs to the sea. Flat tail, webbed claws, sleek black skin. But this illusion hides the truth. It is a swimmer by necessity, not by nature. When it dives, every motion costs energy, every second steals heat. Its short limbs flail through the current while its tail whips like a reluctant paddle. The ocean around the Galapagos is cold, and for an animal that cannot make its own warmth, every minute underwater is borrowed time. Still, hunger pushes it deeper. The algae grow only on submerged rocks, so it grazes with desperate speed, its lungs burning as the cold numbs its muscles. When its heart slows too much, instinct screams, surface now or die. Breaking through the waves, it drags itself onto the shore, gasping, shivering, nearly frozen. There is no celebration of survival, only the urgent need to bask. It stretches flat against volcanic stone, the sun drawing steam from its body like smoke from damp wood. To watch an iguana swim is to see evolution's stubbornness, a land creature forced into the ocean, forever torn between two worlds, never truly at home in either. In the world of iguanas, even love belongs to the sun. When breeding season arrives, temperature decides who will win and who will fade into the shadows. The males, their skin darkening like scorched stone, begin to dance, head bobbing, tail whipping, their bodies trembling with energy borrowed from the heat. The warmer they are, the faster they move, and the more magnificent their displays appear. Cold males stand no chance. Their sluggish hearts beat too slowly to compete, their movements lag like frozen clocks. By the time they react, the females have already chosen, drawn to the rhythm of warmth, not beauty or strength, but temperature. The sun becomes the matchmaker and the judge. A cloud passing overhead can turn victory into defeat. Beneath that harsh light, desire is not a choice but a reaction. Those who cannot heat fast enough lose their chance to pass on life. When the hottest males finally mate, their dominance burns out quickly. Exhaustion sets in, and they collapse under the same sun that crowned them. In the kingdom of warmth, even passion is a brief flare. Bright, consuming and cruel. The stillness that saves the iguana also betrays it. While basking, its motionless body invites danger. Hawks trace its outline from above, snakes slide closer through the brush, and feral cats, brought by humans, stalk silently in the heat haze. The iguana can see them coming but cannot move until its blood is warm enough to obey. It is the most tragic paradox of their lives. To survive, they must bask. To bask, they must expose themselves. Each second in the sun is a gamble between life and death. The predators know this rhythm well. They strike at dawn when iguanas are still sluggish, or at dusk when the cooling air steals their reflexes away. Some iguanas escape, plunging into the sea to confuse their hunters, but in the water new threats wait: sharks, eels, and the cold itself. No matter where they run, the same truth follows. Warmth is life, and warmth is weakness. They exist in a constant state of half prey, half survivor. Their stillness, meant for gathering strength, becomes the silence before an attack. In the blinding sun, the iguana is both worshipper and sacrifice, radiant, exposed, and hunted by the very world it depends on. There are days when the sky forgets them. Clouds roll in, and the sea wind chills the land to stone. For mammals, this means discomfort. For iguanas, it means paralysis. Their bodies cool faster than their hope can catch up. They cling to rocks, eyes half closed, breathing shallowly, waiting for warmth that may never come. This is torpor, a living sleep, a desperate pause between survival and extinction. In the Galapagos, when cold fronts strike, entire colonies freeze in eerie stillness. To outsiders, it looks like death. Some never wake. Those that do emerge slower, weaker, thinner, their cells starved for energy. The storm doesn't just take their heat, it steals their time. Days lost to cold mean fewer chances to feed, to breed, to live. Nature offers no sympathy. The temperature doesn't care that they've adapted for millions of years. One cloudy week can erase generations of progress, and yet they endure. When the light returns, their bodies restart like old engines, trembling back to life. It's not resilience born of choice, but obligation, the endless cycle of dependence. To be an iguana is to survive the absence of your god, and to wake again when it decides to shine. The iguana's story is a fossil written in motion. Millions of years ago, its ancestors were land rulers, basking in a world so warm they barely needed the sun. But the planet cooled, and comfort turned to survival. Evolution made a deal on their behalf. They could live, but only by surrendering control of their heat. Their skin thickened to hold warmth longer, their hearts slowed to conserve energy. But every adaptation came with a cost: freedom. Now each sunrise dictates their existence. They move when allowed, sleep when commanded, breed when the weather permits. In their black scales lie the memory of that ancient pact. The pigment absorbs light greedily, a physical prayer to the sun that once promised safety, but promises fade. The same warmth that sustains them can also scorch them to death. The iguana is not a failure of evolution, it's a monument to compromise. A creature caught between eras, surviving on borrowed light. In every trembling breath, it carries the memory of a warmer earth, and the proof that adaptation is not triumph, but surrender. Far from volcanic shores, new colonies of iguanas live among concrete and glass. In places like Miami, they crawl along power lines and rooftops, basking on the heat of machines rather than stone. To them, an air conditioner's exhaust or a sunlit parking lot is no different from a volcanic rock. They adapt, but the city is a cruel new ecosystem. When winter arrives, even briefly, disaster strikes. The temperature drops below their threshold, and their muscles betray them. They freeze in mid-motion, eyes open, claws locked around tree branches. One by one, they fall. Residents call it the Iguana rain. Bodies tumbling from palm trees like stunned fruit. Some crash onto cars or sidewalks, unconscious but alive. Others never wake. Those that do often crawl away with broken limbs, waiting for sunlight to restart their hearts. It's a dark comedy of nature meeting urban life, ancient biology colliding with modern climate control. The same species that outlived volcanoes now loses to a cold snap on a Florida morning. Each fallen iguana is a reminder that evolution never planned for cities, or the chill of human weather. Every heartbeat of an iguana is a silent negotiation with the sun. Too little warmth, and its blood stills. Too much, and its cells boil. It cannot hide, cannot rebel. Its body is bound by a rule written before memory began. In a world filled with creatures that command their own heat, the iguana lives as a relic of surrender. It worships without faith, obeys without choice. The rhythm of its existence mirrors the turning of the earth itself. Light, dark, rise, fall. The endless pendulum of dependence. And yet, there's something hauntingly pure in that helplessness. To live only by the grace of sunlight is to exist in complete honesty. No illusion of control, no arrogance of dominance, only truth. When it basks on a rock, eyes closed, skin glowing with warmth, it is both prisoner and poet, a body carved by fire, a soul shaped by cycles. So yes, it sucks to be born an iguana, because your life is not truly yours. It belongs to the light that keeps you alive, and could take you back at any moment,